Hello! I want to share a really quick, juicy story. Have you ever reached a place where you realized your husband was right about something? That happened to me not only one time, plenty of times, but we have a specific theory that my husband expressed his theory. And so what it was is he expressed there are times, I'm sure you've experienced this, but your children, for me, I have a 1-year old, and there are times where he's definitely more fussy and just whiny, and I can't even describe or kind of pinpoint what is going on, but it's like he doesn't want me, but he does want me, and it just, obviously, it creates tension and irritability between the two of us. And so my husband expressed to me last month that he found it is around the time where I'm about to get my monthly cycle. And I said, no, that's crazy. He said, no, really. I've been evaluating this for the last couple of months, and he acts crazy when you're about to get your cycle. And it's like he lets off little signals to me. And so, yeah. So this month, so yesterday has been really rough. A lot of crying and fussing and whining. He wants me to hold him. He doesn't want me to hold him. And a crying baby that you cannot comfort. Of course, you can say he's teething. Yeah, he's 1. He probably is teething. He was sick earlier this week. So yeah, he probably has some lingering effects of this. But this is something different. It's like a beast is living within him. Like he just throws his back out and tries to hit me and does crazy things that I've never experienced in a child. So, I'll let him cry because there's nothing else I can do. I kind of do whatever it is that I could do. But then I sat there yesterday as he's just crying and I'm about to join him. And I said, I think it's time for my cycle. Let me look at my calendar. So I look, and based off of yesterday, it says in 5 days. So I said, oh my gosh, I think this is what he's talking about. So when my husband came home yesterday, I shared with him. I said, I think you're right. I think this is so true. So he was cracking up, and it created, some good conversation between him and I. And that's when he said, yeah, I think it's like he gives me signals and lets me know. In case you don't know, I like to help give some humor, and I like to help give support to women, specifically tips, tricks on meal planning and just finding ways to live free in life through health and fitness. And so I just wanted to share that little tip with you. And for today, I wanted to give you 5 tips that I thought would be helpful specifically for that monthly cycle time. So obviously you kind of know what's going to be going down with me here in the next couple of days and weeks. And it's real, ladies, it's real, especially if you have those little ones and you're done breastfeeding and so now you're back on your cycle. It comes once a month unless you're pregnant, and yeah, I guess that could be it too. But for right now, we are anticipating a cycle. And so I wanted to share with you ways that I find to be most helpful during that time, especially as I know it's coming. Thanks to Jude, he kind of gave me heads up that it's coming. So what I do is I make sure it is imperative that I spend time with Jesus every single day, because there's a beast living within me and it's about to come out. So Jesus needs to be in all of this. Exercise is extremely important. It is the last thing on my list I want to do. But exercising helps to release the demons, literally. Not for any other purpose, but just a little bit more energy. Eating well. Eating well is so important. I'm sure you could look up plenty of things to avoid while you're on your menstrual cycle. But definitely caffeinated, acidic, those types of things that can bring on cramping and that type of thing. So eating well is very important. Evaluating your schedule. My aunt told me very early in my marriage, it's extremely important that when you have your monthly cycle, to make sure you evaluate your schedule. Why? Because we are just not at our best. We have lots of hormones going on, and we're just not going to be our best for everybody. So take things off that can be removed or rescheduled to the following week. I have done that, been very careful about that, and it has changed my life. Evaluate your schedule. Be very careful with how you schedule. You don't want to lose it on anybody. And you don't want to lose it. You don't want to not lose it on the people you're with and then come home and lose it on your husband. Because the next week you're not going to be on your cycle and he's not going to want to be around you. Kiss your babies. For me, the last thing I wanted to do was hold and squeeze this baby that's just kicking me and smacking me and doing all of these things. But I held him and I loved on him, and it definitely helped to kind of work through whatever is going on, if he could just read off of what's going on. So yeah, that's what I have for you. Trust your husband's judgment. Trust your spouse's judgment. Welcome his feedback. I praise God, because I don't know that like even a year ago, should he have said something like that, that I wouldn't have kind of gotten a little offensive. Like, what do you mean? Why are you keeping track of when my cycle is happening? So anyways, if you could share a time when you realized your husband was right, I would love, love, love to hear about that, when you had to eat crow. Share it.